Hi there, it's Jerry Detweiler, Education Director for NAV, and I want to talk to you today about smart ways to use credit cards as an entrepreneur. I recently interviewed a bunch of small business owners, and I asked them, how they're using business credit cards and how they're using them to benefit their businesses, and I got some great responses. So I'm going to link to that story that I wrote for All Business down there in the links below, but let me go through a few of these real quick with you. First of all, Jeff Root told me that he uses his credit cards for everything in his business, and he's racked up more than 500,000 miles on his business credit cards, and that enables him and his family to take vacations and travel and do things that they want. So that's definitely a benefit of certain travel and rewards credit cards. Fraud. So Seth Kravitz told me that he does a lot of business with companies overseas, and he uses his credit card exclusively to pay for those services because he knows he has the ability to dispute it if the goods or services are not provided as promised. So credit cards definitely are the safest way to pay for purchases. And if you are not using a business credit card and you're using a business debit card, then I want to warn you that business debit cards are not covered under any federal law when it comes to loss or theft. So most issuers are going to try to make you whole, but hey, the money's out of your account with a debit card. You have to get it back in with a credit card. It's their money. So just think about that the next time you make a purchase with a piece of plastic. Then large purchases. Mark Huntley, who has the website Credit Knox, he told me that he likes to use his credit cards for purchases, especially initially in his business, that he needed to pay off over time. So when he was starting the site, he needed to make some investment in some tools for the site that were expensive. And his credit card enabled him to purchase those things, pay for them later, and then grow his business. And I just want to focus on that point a second, because many small business owners think of business credit cards as a way to pay for things, but they don't always realize that a business credit card can also be a way to finance things. And while interest rates vary, you can often get an introductory rate on a credit card for a period of time. Or even if you end up paying 18%, that's a lot cheaper than some of those other types of financing that many small business owners are using, especially when it comes to things like fast financing. So keep that in mind as an option. Fourth one is save on travel. Patricia Russell, she said that she likes putting her business travel purchases on a credit card because she saves on that car rental charge. Some of the cards offer collision damage waiver, which means they will cover certain damages to a rental car. I actually love this benefit and use it personally myself. I have two cards that offer this benefit, and so I think it's a great money saver because we all know car rental insurance is expensive. And the two that I have are actually primary coverage, which means they kick in first before my auto insurance has to be contacted. So I kind of like that benefit, and that's one that you may want to look for. Fifth one is fund your startup. So Sean Poor, he said that when he had to start his business, he had to invest in online ads. He didn't have a lot of cash to do so, so he did charge them. There's some risk to that, no doubt, absolutely. Fortunately, it paid off for him. And once he discovered that his business was growing, he also discovered he was earning a lot of perks on those credit card purchases. And so now he loves his credit cards for the perks. So he started out using it as a way to finance his startup and then as a way to earn rewards. And let me just quick touch on the startup thing, because this is important. If you are a new business, your business does not necessarily have to have revenues to get a small business credit card. Most of the decisions are going to be made based on your personal credit and on income from all sources, not just the business. I'm going to give you a tip here at the end that's going to help you improve your chances of qualifying for a business credit card. So hold on for that. But let me just remind you that it's often available to startups as long as your personal credit score and income from all sources are enough to qualify for that credit card. Number 6, save money. So Jeff Neal loves his business credit card because he gets his 2% cashback reward. And that can really add up, especially for businesses that may be spending a lot of money. I interviewed another business owner who told me that he saves that 2% cashback, and at the end of the year, that's what he uses to fund the holiday party and and bonuses for his employees. So it's a way for him to give back to his employees through that 2% cash back. So whatever you use it on, it could add up for your business. And number 7, employee perks. So Logan Alec, I love this story. He has remote employees, and he bought them all ergonomic chairs and desks. He discovered that some of them were, sitting in their bed on a laptop, and it wasn't very productive. And so he used his credit card to fund all those purchases. He found out it worked. Productivity of his remote employees increased. And so it was a great way for him to use that credit card. All right. So when we're talking about business credit cards, I want to give you a couple of tips. First of all, as I mentioned, they're often available to startups. Second of all, you really do want to make sure that your personal credit scores are strong, because that's going to play into every decision. And all the issuers, all the major issuers will check your personal credit for a small business credit card. And some of them report to personal credit, some of them don't. All of them report to at least one of the business credit agencies. So these cards help you build business credit. And if you choose a particular card, it might help you avoid having that activity show up on your personal credit. So I'll make sure I put a couple links to articles below at NAV where we have charts of which issuers, how they report to business and to personal credit. Final tip. NAV offers a tool called Match Factor. It's free with all NAV accounts, including a free NAV account. And what it will do is it will help you understand which business credit cards you're most likely to be qualified for based on your current qualifications. We found at NAV that customers who used Match Factor were 4 times more likely to be approved for a business credit card. 4 times. So if you don't want to spend a lot of time searching and applying for cards that you're not going to qualify for, you don't want those inquiries on your credit report because you're not going to qualify, narrow your choices with NAV and use Match Factor to help you narrow down to the cards that are a good fit for you. And then beyond that, look for the cards that are going to offer what you need, whether that's a low interest rate, lots of rewards, or a combination of the two. All right, I hope you found this helpful. Again, the article's down below, lots of tips in there. We'll put in a couple more links that will be helpful to you to understand how these cards report. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for joining me today.